Welcome to Business Growth Accelerator. Yesterday we were talking about being gracious because there's so much that's happening in the world where people are getting angry and people are not doing what needs to be done. People aren't listening to what others are really saying. And I thought this might be a good thing to talk about today because my question is, are you really listening? And especially in leadership, we encourage leaders to be more participative and collaborative in their decision making because gone are the days of the top-down hierarchical organisation of the past, people say. But then they contradict themselves by making heroes out of the highly autocratic leaders like Steve Jobs. Now, business is not a democracy. Decision making by committee is a recipe for mediocrity. And many business owners who have tried this have found it doesn't work because leaders have to leave, and that means making clear decisions. And you're not a politician, all right? This isn't a popularity contest running a business or being a leader. You're paid to make good decisions that are in the best long-term interest of yourself and your company. However, in order to make good decisions, it's really good to solicit a variety of different viewpoints and opinions before making a decision. And, I read in Peter Trucker's timeless book, I think it's the Effective Executive, that said, effective leaders create dissension and disagreement rather than promoting consensus. And you think, this kind of contradicts itself. But in fact, he recommended that you should not make a decision unless there is some disagreement first. Because, if everyone agrees at the outset, you should tell them to go away and come back with some counter viewpoints because groupthink, where everyone in the company or even sometimes a whole industry thinks the same, is a really, really dangerous pitfall to fall into, and you've got to guard against it. Because if everyone's thinking the same, then someone isn't thinking. It's as simple as that. As a leader, you need to have the confidence to surround yourself with people who are going to be willing to disagree with you. All right, it might feel uncomfortable when that happens, but it demonstrates that you're willing to hear what they've got to say. And you may not like hearing the criticism or the opinions that are different to yours, but you've got to ask people to tell you what they really think so that you see things from a variety of angles. Now, the thing is, introverts are unlikely to speak up, so you need to find a way to get their opinion on the table as well. Otherwise, they'll just sit there and listen to all the extroverts who will try and take over the conversation. Motivation and job performance and morale increases when employees have the opportunity to contribute their concerns and ideas. Now, it doesn't mean you've got to please everyone because you can't, and nor should you try to. But you need to show that you're willing to listen. And that's about, again, being gracious. The study also shows that there's a consequence when you give your employees a voice. Leaders have got to listen. Because if you just pay lip service to listening and have no intention of really considering the ideas of your staff, then they're going to just stop giving you their input because they realise it's a waste of time. Conversely, though, employees who think that their bosses or their leaders are going to pay attention tend to speak up more often and get along better with one another and improve your business's functioning as a whole. So there you go. It's about listening. Are you listening? And if you want to make good decisions, then get input from many people, especially those with a variety of viewpoints, and then provide tangible evidence that you've heard them and you've seriously considered what they've had to say. You may not implement what they've said, but if they feel they've got listened to, they will come back again to you. There's the thought for the day, all right? Simple strategies if serious business owners who are wanting solid results. Listen to your staff. Be gracious in your dealings with staff and people as well.